Sir, you're good to go. You are live now.
Hello everyone. Hello
Hello,
ma'am.
guys. Hello, sir. Hi, bacha log. How are we doing? How was the exam?
Hello everyone. Just okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so I guess we should first of all introduce ourselves. Many of them are very new.
Definitely.
So, Other ma'am, will you please start?
Okay. So you can, yeah. Hi, everyone. So let us introduce ourselves first. So hello. Hi. My name is Kajal. I'm HOD Chemistry over here at Ask IITians. Many of you already know me. Many of you are already been into the batches that I taught. And a lot of you must have seen me already on YouTube. Those who haven't, hi guys. We are the experts from Ask IITians. I am the chemistry HOD over here. Aditya sir is a senior maths faculty and Dipesh sir is a senior physics faculty. So I'll let them also introduce themselves. Aditya sir, over to you.
Hello everyone. I'm the faculty of mathematics on Ask IITians, and like since you guys are preparing for your JEE mains advance years back, I guess we all have been like prepared for this and clear this examination successfully. So we will be over here guiding you, all of you, how you can clear the examination, what exactly you guys will be needing to clear this examination. All right, sir. So we are over here to discussion of the paper for 30th January shift 1. But before that, Deepesh sir will introduce himself, and then we'll be having discussion on what kind of what kind of paper we are having in the last 2-3 days. Over to you, sir.
Hello everyone, my name is Dipesh and I am physics faculty over here in Ask ITNs. So today we are going to discuss the mock paper. I would not say mock paper, but yeah, the paper which is happening for the last few days. And we will specifically go on to discussing the questions with the topics being covered with that. One very important thing about JEE is that you have to cover each and every chapter, which is not covered by a lot of students. They usually go after doing some important chapters, but that's not the strategy for JEE Main. So our whole idea today will be so that we can cover most of the chapters from 11th and 12th grade, and we can discuss each and every question and give you different ideas of how a different question can be framed from that particular question. Like if we are discussing a question, it doesn't mean that exactly that question is going to be there in the examination. No, we will also discuss how many different ways can be there to ask that same particular problem. So that will be our whole idea today.
So Dipesh, sir, we already have a question for you in the chat box. Krishna is saying he has his exam in the second shift. So any suggestions for physics?
My suggestions will be again the same thing, that go on to all the chapters. The thing about students is like they think about, okay, I will do mechanics, I will do optics, and my all the preparation will be done. But no, every exam, yes, sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's easy, but there is one single pattern, that is all the chapters include a single question. If there is not a particular question from that chapter, but some topic will be included in any other chapter. So if we talk about some easy chapters like unit and measurements from 11th grade, or if we talk about atoms, nuclei from 12th grade, these chapters, students tend to ignore these chapters. But no, you have to do these as well, because they will also give you equal amount of marks other than any other question, than any other chapter as well. So that will be the whole idea, that try to cover as many chapters as possible. That will be the best way.
Perfect. So guys, we already are aware that we are talking about a huge syllabus. So sometimes it is not easy for us to complete the entire syllabus during the course of our preparation. But definitely by looking at some of the previous year questions, by looking at some of the previous year patterns, you will easily be able to identify that these are some do and die kind of chapters. So those who are brushing up for the last moment preparation, I am hoping that all of you must have prepared your short notes or something like that. Formula notes, like for organic, if I'm talking about, just the name reactions, just the name of the reagents. For physical, the formulas. So these are the last minute things that you should quickly brush up. But if you're having your exam in the second shift, now close all your books. Now is not the time. Just keep your mind calm, just relax. You are already done your best. Just give your 100% in the final exam. Today is your day. Just give your best. So no pressure at this point of time, but definitely you can watch the analysis to get an idea that what kind of questions are coming in the first shift, and you can expect the same kind of thing happening in the second one as well. Obviously, the question would not be exactly repeated, but at least you will get to know a basic distribution. Like if I'm talking about what happens yesterday in the first shift of JEE Mains 29th of 29th of January, if I'm talking about. So basically in that, in chemistry, what I observed, the first 20 questions, that is your MCQ portion, was majorly dominated by organic and inorganic. Whatever physical question was there, that were asked in the numerical part, or you can say our integer type. So almost the entire, out of 10 questions, I would say almost 8 questions were of physical chemistry. The rest questions were entirely from organic and inorganic. But again, there was a lot of speculation that inorganic would be less because of the deleted syllabus, but that is something NTA has proved entirely wrong in every shift. They are giving equal weightage to inorganic in comparison to organic and physical. So although the syllabus has been deleted, but whatever syllabus is left for us, they are making sure that they are distributing the paper equally. Overall, if I talk about what I've heard from the students regarding the yesterday first shift ka paper, maths as usual, I wouldn't say it was tough, but what I've heard students were saying that it was a bit lengthy for them to solve. So they would have attempted more number of questions, but because of time issue, they were not able to. Then Physics was the easiest of them all. That is exactly what I have heard. Chemistry was somewhere within the range of moderate to difficult. As compared to 27th January, both the shift, if I talk about, personally feel that yes, chemistry was a bit difficult as compared to 27th January. But overall, if I talk about the paper, it must be considered between the pattern of easy to moderate. Maths being the highest difficulty level, then chemistry, then it was physics. This was what I have heard from the student. Obviously, we'll go to our experts to get more detail into the idea. So over to you guys. You can share your views in that aspect.
For maths, like what I have analyzed for the mathematics portion, roughly 50% of paper can be considered as easy.
Okay.
And around some the remaining, we can say 30% approximately is of the moderate level. Some 20% questions are from higher difficulty level. But since maths is one of subject which what I come to know ki many of the students just reading the formula and then solving 5-10 questions and then expecting ki why I'm not able to solve the problem. So guys, for mathematics, I would say ki you have to solve n number of problems. N number means at least, if you will ask me, sir, how much question I should solve for each chapter, roughly around 50 to 100. So before that, what most of the people will do, ki after solving 20 questions, we are expecting ki I should become master of matrices, determinant, which should become master of integration. That is not going to happen. Okay, so definitely, if you have solved roughly 50 to 100 question on an average from a chapter, you will feel that this mains paper, you can easily crack some 15 to 18 questions roughly with peace of mind, definitely. Because before beginning of the paper, many of the students are having this particular thing, कि भैया डर लग रहा है, so yeah, I'm having fear of this formula भूल जाएंगे, not able to recall the formula and all. So definitely that pressure before the examination, that definitely creates a pressure by solving, especially if I will call about the maths paper, already having that fear कि maths is difficult. But guys, even basic practice can clear you 15 to 20 questions roughly on and around. So that's what we have analyzed from the last 27 and 29 paper shift, the last 4 papers. So that's what I have analyzed. That's all from my side. Deepesh, sir, how was your experience? Like what you have analyzed from the physics part?
Again, sir, there was like when you will actually see the question paper, you will feel like this topic was not there. This chapter had no questions at all. But no, sometimes what happens is they take 2 chapters and then they join those 2 chapters to make a single problem, because it's not easy, because we have more approximately 30 chapters, but number of questions are less, so they have to manage it in that way. So they take 2 chapters, make a single question, but it makes the weightage of both the chapters very important. If you don't, sometimes the question is so easy that if you just know the formula, you can actually do it. But the people who are not aware of the situation or the formula, they just feel like, oh, how tough the question was, but actually it was not the case. So the same thing happened over here as well. And this time, yeah, the JE for physics was comparatively easy than the other two, so I can say that as well.
I got to know 40-50% paper of physics was somewhere directly based on formula. If you know the formula, have practiced basic questions, you can easily get it.
So whatever
Yeah.
I have heard from the student, they were easily able to manage to do more than 20 questions in physics this year.
Yeah.
With chemistry, it happens every year because yes, they try to. Generally, this is what happens, that chemistry was the easiest one, then physics, then math. But this year, I'm hearing a bit of a different approach. Physics sometimes is becoming much more easier for students than chemistry.
Exactly. And that's what I think, ma'am, that is actually the most important part of JE, that never ever try to predict the paper. Never think
Exactly.
about, oh, this is how the paper is going to be. If this time the physics was easy, no one can say what will happen the next time. So you should be prepared in all the aspects. Yeah, always like try to focus on easy and average problems. Even if you leave 2 or 3 tough problems and you do all the easy and average problems, you will still score so good that you can get any kind of like college, I would say. So it will be very good that if you majorly focus on how to crack most number of problems. That's the strategy.
Definitely. And even if we talk about the yesterday's afternoon shift also, chemistry, I would say not even a single question would be the one which I'll be able to categorize into the hard category. No, it was not at all difficult. Majority of the questions, I would say more than around 20 questions would easily be in the range of easy. Direct formula based question, hardly 30 seconds, the student would be in and out of the question. And that is exactly what happens when students say, they are able to complete the entire physics or no, specifically chemistry, they used to say. Sometimes they're able to complete within 30, 40 minutes. And the same kind of pattern we are observing for physics this year also, because most of the questions are direct theory based or factual based questions,
So
right?
yeah. If something is easy, then you have to save your time over there, because maths is always lengthy, and it's the toughest part of JE always. So you have to save
Right.
your time in physics and chemistry, and like you have to put your time in that in mathematics, because all the three aspects are equally important. We can't say that only one subject is important. So if something is
Definitely. Because
easy, then
ultimately,
just be prepared that the next part is going to be tough. So let's wrap it up as quick as possible.
no, sometimes students feel difficulty in digesting how can Jay ask such a easy question. Then they
So
start
such easy talk.
questioning themselves. No, no, there must be some trick to this question. So many a time it happens while dealing with the student during the classes. Now, when I show them, look, this is the exact question Jay has asked in the previous year, they don't believe.
Mm.
How is it possible that Jay is asking such a simple question? Now, when they're giving the Jay themselves, they are coming back to me and they're asking them, really? Is this the kind of question? Venka, yes, because the reason is students tend to not pay attention to the small, small details, right? Like how the formula is derived, that is also important. What assumptions you are taking while deriving the formulas, what are the limitations? Those are also some things that you should keep in mind. Like student used to crib. Why are you making us read this theory when it is already discarded? But how will you get to know about the present and future when you don't know what's happening in the past? So that
Exactly.
is exactly what Jay also target nowadays. Jay tends to ask questions to the concept that they feel student neglect some point of time.
Mm.
If you are focusing very much on a conceptual knowledge, the question would seem easy for you. But the students who are struggling with the basic formula application also, definitely the question is difficult for them. So even in these papers also I've came across many students who were saying even doing 20 to 30 questions were difficult. And on another hand, there were a lot of students who were saying, ma'am, we were able to do more than 60 questions. So that completely depends how you're preparing yourself, how you are deciding your journey ahead would be. Correct. Paper would be difficult from one student perspective, it would be difficult from another perspective. When we are talking about how it is, we are ideally assuming that you are preparing yourself as per the requirement of the examination.
It's someone who have attended the lectures and just have done homework pala part. And that's all, like attending the school or not attending it. Apart from this, getting the lectures on time, properly doing homework, even this basic thing would have, someone can clear this mains wala part. Like approximately, I would say 130, 140 is scoreable. Keeping in the mind if you can, work on your mistakes also. Because,
That is exactly why, correct. We
some
have
of
these.
the students, some of the students are worried about, ki, sir, like we are getting 70 marks, we are getting 80 marks. How we can do, like how we will grow. So guys, see, simple thing is you guys deserve double for sure. I can guarantee it on paper. If you are scoring 80 or 70, that means you deserve to have 150 approximately. It's just that you are doing somewhere around 15 questions roughly mistake in your paper. And when we say mistake, that means it includes the one you marking wrong or not attempting at all. In exam pressure, you are not attempting the question, which means to be attempt first. And from there, you can score really, really well. And apart from this, Krishna, I hope you have got your answer.
Hmm.
Krishna is having exam in the evening shift, I guess,
Yes.
Krishna. So, Krishna, you have got your answer for tips for physics. So, yeah, hello everyone, guys. You can have a hi in the chat box and heard in the chat box so we can know that you are over here. Hello everyone.
Hi guys, those who are listening to us, those who are watching us, just comment onto our chat box so that we can feel motivated that yes, there are students who are watching us and we'll be motivated enough to give you some tips and tricks at the same time. And coming back to the discussions that you were talking about, sometimes students do complain that it's like they are not able to improve above a point of time, beyond a particular score. They are stuck in that loop. So that is where the analysis of the question paper comes
Exactly.
very handy to us. It's like you have read the concept multiple amount of time, right? But now, where are you making the mistake? That is where you have to analyze. So if you are giving a mock test of 3 hours, just make sure you're dividing your time of around 2 or 2.5 hours in analyzing each and every question. It's not only about the question that you're doing mistaken. It's also about the question that you're doing correctly. Because the chapter, you can say the concept is also about time management. This is exactly how the exams is divided. So if you have a shortcut or a shorter method to reach the same answer, rather than investing 5 minutes, you can have the same question solved in 2 minutes. Then you should also look at those diverse approach for a simple question. And since we are talking about the deleted portion, that is happening a lot now. Students feel, oh, this is a deleted portion question. But when you dive into that particular question, you will get to know that this question can also be solved using some other approach that is there in your syllabus. So that is also happening a bit of a struggle nowadays.
There's a one more point over here, like if JEE will not write down key addition subtraction is in syllabus, it doesn't mean that it is been removed. So this has happened from 2023 to 2024. They have not mentioned few topics, but which were very obvious. Key, you cannot have any problem without it. For example, I have said addition subtraction is not mentioned in syllabus, but doesn't mean that it will not come. You have to know it. Exactly as at many places, you have to know the basic concepts. In every chapter, we are having such topics. Right.
Exactly. And exam pressure, no one can deny that part. Yes, it is an actual thing. We ourselves has gone through that phase. So that's why we say whatever you are scoring in mock, plus minus 20 is something you can expect. Most of the time it is negative only because we have a lot of other factors playing role. So whatever you are scoring in mock, just make sure you're being consistent in that. So if your goal is somewhere around 200, try to consistently score somewhere within the range of 230 to 240. So as a result of that, no matter whatever worst conditions happen in the final exam, you will be able to get above 200 for sure. So most of the times your mock score is going to be an exact replica of your final exam. But yes, plus minus 20 here and there would definitely be the case. So I think we have given them enough of the gyan that they need to have for the upcoming test or whatever exam they're going to give. So guys, let's dive deep into what all kind of question has been asked in today's morning shift. So let's start. So anyone who wants to start? Otherwise, I definitely want to go for chemistry first. That's not an issue. All right, just give me a moment. I'll just do that. So guys, again, the division of chemistry was equal between all the three phases. You have your physics, you have your chemistry. Sorry, my bad. You have your organic, you have an inorganic, you have a physical. Actual weightage is something I am still not able to comment on. The reason being I am not able to get a hold of all the questions, but whatever questions I have for organic, I would say. One of the questions was definitely there from biomolecules. Then you have this question, one favorite question that every time they used to ask, aromaticity from GOC part, like some options are given to you and they are asking which of the following is most stable. Then the reaction based on Grignard reagent, that is something you can find in each and every exam for sure. Those were some of the questions that were already there. So let me give you a brief about one of the questions that was there. So look, the first question that I came across was typical chemical bonding question. 1 second. Aditya sir, can you just give me the access to share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Yeah, done for myself.
All right, good. Okay, so before we start, we also have a student joining us right now. So first, let's try to understand his experience. Then we will dive deep into the question. Hi, Parth. How are you?
Hi, ma'am. Yeah, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm good. So please introduce yourself to us as well as to the audience.
Yeah, so hi guys, my name is Parth Dinil. I'm in UAE right now. I started my journey with Ask ITians from 10th grade onwards. I got the JEE Wala preparation from 11th, and yesterday was my paper, shift 2. It went okay. I wouldn't say it went as per my expectations. Like, yeah, but it was fine. And yeah, I am now aiming for a higher score for my attempt 2 and then advanced finally. And yeah, so that's my thing right now. Yeah.
So how did you feel the exam was as per your expectations?
So basically, I expected physics to be like easy formulas. It was just direct formula application, and that was the case. So that was fine. I When I checked the shift 1 and shift 2 of the first day, I was like, okay, maths might be easy, but in my case, maths was hard. So I was like, I was aiming of doing like a lot of questions in math because it's my strongest subject, but then that kind of opposed me. I was like, okay. And then chemistry, organic side, I don't know what happened. It was very easy. They asked like direct question. I don't know what they asked, like, and then just on the easier side. Yeah, but then math has been my biggest pain point of yesterday's paper. So then that was chill. But then that was much for the paper. Yeah.
So as per your knowledge, what do you feel? 29 shift 1 paper was more easy or second shift paper was more easy?
When I saw shift 1 paper, I had a pretty good idea about how physics and chemistry would be. But then
Hmm.
maths on the harder side, so I was expecting to be in that level because that level was it was having some good level of questions. Not everything was hard, but when it came
Hmm.
to my shift, maths kind of increased its level. So then the level was a bit more harder in my shift for maths. So that was the only difference between shift 1 and shift 2. Nothing else was like different as such in the two shifts. Yeah.
Because what I heard from shift 1 students, they were not categorizing it as difficult, but definitely they were saying math was a bit lengthy for them to solve.
In this
There were
case,
no trick.
yeah,
Huh.
in the book it was lengthy and hard because the questions they asked were like same how they mixed straight lines and quadratic equations. They were like they made us solve for the point using straight lines, and those point is the coefficient of the quadratic equation. So it's like two different topics linked, and I had to solve for the third thing. So then it was that was very lengthy, those questions. Yeah, that was the case for maths pretty much. Physics was direct formulas. I mean, if you just learn the formulas and gone, you could have properly done a lot of questions. Chemistry, same case. Chemistry, if you had learned those name reactions, the common ones, even NCERT itself, it would have been very much enough for the chemistry part. Yeah, so that was pretty much the case for the three subjects. Yeah.
Aditya sir, any comments on maths? Since you are the expert in that zone.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah, I think I'm lagging a bit. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Parth, very good analysis actually, especially for the physics part, a very good analysis. Yeah. Okay.
Aditya sir,
Parth,
any
and
updates?
anything else you want to convey?
See, everyone who is having maths in their own shift calling, it is difficult. And the shift that we are having earlier and after it is easy. So that, see, as I'm saying, maths is already having a pressure before the examination. Because you will be having, as Path is saying, it happens every year that they are mixing parabola and straight line, then parabola and circle, and then they're asking the third concept, shorter distance between them. They're mixing function with matrices, they're mixing binomial with some other quadratic part. So they do always these kind of things. I guess in physics, TPS was also saying the same thing, mixing two chapters. So that's what it makes JEE mains. So I would say if this is JEE mains, be ready for advanced part also. You will be having 3 or 4 layer problems. So
Hmm.
as of now, we are having 2 layer, two chapter mixed. Later, we are going to have 3 or 4 layer definitely. But yeah, see, if we are having any such thing, I would say reattempt the paper with fresh mind. That will give you a proper analysis for one more time. Like, does it, because you see, you have to go through it part. Uh, is it really difficult or was it a exam pressure that you were having? Right. And if it was exam pressure, then definitely you are going.
I think sir is stuck for us for a moment. Okay, no issues. We can discuss this later on. Thank you so much for your insight, Parth. So hope that we'll be getting much more of you in the second shift. Much better than this in the second shift. as per our expectations. Okay.
And then
So
one
let's
thing I
join.
want to
Huh.
convey to all the people giving their shift 2 today, or whatever
Yeah.
shift you're gonna come up, even in chemistry, just learn those simple formulas and go. Pakka one question will come. I'm not kidding. And then this time there has been a, I don't know how, that there's been a stark increase in the amount of question based on match the following in chemistry. So in my paper, I got 3 match the following questions consecutively. There was one from biomolecules and one was from organic chemistry. Like you have the products, and they told this is the reactant, you have the products, match the reagents. That was very simple. That was very direct question it was. And then for biomolecules, they gave LHS in the left hand side. They gave a starch, cellulose, all the stuff, and they told to match what type of biomolecule it is. Direct question. I was in and out of chemistry within 30 minutes. No kidding. 30 minutes I was done with chemistry, 40 minutes then physics, and the rest full time I chilled in maths. Because nothing was striking. I was like doing maths, but then everything else went very nicely. So just learn the formula itself and go. You can secure very good marks in this time attempt.
So
So
at
yeah.
least you can give the students advice not to be scared of organic chemistry now. Direct formulas
I
with the
mean, I
proper
was scared, and then
Huh.
when you prepare for that worst possible case of organic chemistry, this seems very simple for you.
Exactly.
Friends. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your insight, Parth. We'll
Yes.
be meeting you again soon. Thank you
Bye.
so much for joining. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. So, Dipesh sir, let's start with physics first.
Let's
Yes.
start.
Perfect.
So I will be adding questions. Let's hope we can do as many problems as possible in a limited short span of time. Yeah. So this, am I first of all properly visible? My screen?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
visible. Completely fine.
Am I lagging or not? Like I will connect to a different Wi-Fi just to see.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, this question. Now, a body of a man, 100 kg, traveled 10 meter before coming to rest. Fine. Now, work done against the friction. Now, just by looking onto this problem, every student will say that this is a work done problem. It means it's a question from the 6th chapter, work and energy, and from 11th grade. And it's right. I would not say that's wrong. We all know that for work done is equals to what? Change in kinetic energy, work energy theorem. So, and a change in kinetic energy, half mv square basically. Yeah, because as we can clearly see, the final velocity is zero as the body is coming to rest. So final velocity we don't need to write. So half mv square. Now mass is clearly given in the problem, so that's not the hectic part. We need to find the value of velocity. How can we find the velocity? So v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Yeah, we all know that. Now, if I want to calculate the velocity, so yes, a body of man 100 kg traveled 10 meter before coming to rest. Yeah. So final velocity over here is zero. I agree with that. But for now, let's remove the negative sign because we don't need the sign and all over here. I can directly write that v square is equals to 2as. Yeah. Now, if I can calculate v square from here, and if I can find that value if I can put it over here, my answer will be done. So I have to find the value of acceleration, which I don't know, but displacement I know that the body is having 10. So v square is equals to 2 times a, and acceleration will be equals to what? Mu g. If you guys know it, well and good, and if you don't know it, it's all about a formula that just like when we say that frictional force is equals to mu mg, then the acceleration is equals to mu g. It's a formula, you should be aware of that. So we are putting the value of a over here as mu g. Yep. And the value of s is already equals to 10. Yeah. So now if we will solve it, what will it come out as? V square is equals to 2 into mu is 0.4 into g is 10 into 10. Okay. So it will be 100. So it will be 4, 40, and v square will be 80. Yeah, we found out the value of v square. Now let's put it over here that work done is equals to 1 by 2. Mass is how much? 100. And the velocity is v square is actually 80. So when we will solve it, yeah, we will get 40. And the answer, final answer is coming out as work done is 4,000 joules. Yeah. Now, a lot of people, by looking onto it, will say that this is a work energy problem. And I am okay with that, but you have to understand few extra things over here. That this formula, which is the main part of the question, yes, it comes from the chapter 6 of 11th grade. But at the same time, this is from kinematics. Now, if you don't get even a single question throughout the paper from kinematics, don't think that, oh, the paper had no kinematics problems, I practiced so much about it. The JE doesn't work like that. You can't expect a single question from single chapter. You are having one question from a third chapter. This formula you actually learn in the laws of motion, that is fifth chapter. So as you can clearly see, a single problem included 3 different chapters. So the weightage is actually distributed. For me, this question is actually what? 33% from each and every chapter. So 3 different chapters, if you are aware of it, then only you can solve this problem. This is the actual strategy which you should actually go on to. Okay, fine. This was the first question. And let's move on to the second problem now.
Yes. Deepesh sir, yes. You
Yes,
done?
am I? Yes.
Okay, fine. No problem. I will take one question from here. I want host permission. Will you please give me from?
I think I was sharing the screen, that's why you can.
Okay.
Yes, Aditya sir, now you can try, I guess.
Thank you so much. Okay, all right, guys. So let's solve some question from mathematics, and let me write down one question from this portion of geometry. Chapter name is ellipse, and you will read the question. If the length, the question is if the length of minor axis, guys, let me know if we have come across this question and have you attempted this or not. Length of the minor axis, yeah, is of an ellipse is equals to, this was the question, is equals to half of the distance between the foci. Find the centricity. Aja. I would say if you guys have done your NCRT, you can do this question easily in 30 seconds. Now, this is one of the easiest problem of your mathematics portion. What you need to do, see, basic concept. What is the length of minor axis? Length of minor axis, guys, is equal to 2b. This is what you need to know. Then, what is the distance between foci? Distance between two foci of an ellipse is equals to 2ae. Now, what they have said, that length of minor axis is half of distance between foci. From here, what relation you are going to have? 2 and 2 get cancelled, and from here, E is equals to 2b by a, or you can have another relation which is b by a is equals to E by 2. Now, do we know any relation, or do we have any relation between A, B, and eccentricity? Yes, there's a formula. What formula we are having? It's E is equals to under root of 1 minus B square by A square. If you know this formula and this basic meaning, what is a distance between foci and what is the length of minor axis, now we are done. So this will be equals to E is equals to under root of 1 minus E by 2 whole square. Solve it, taking square both the sides. E square is equals to 1 minus E square by 4. Taking it over here, you will be having 5E square by 4 is equals to 1. Take root. If you will take root and cross multiply, you will have 2 by root 5 as your answer. I would say this is a completely CBSE level problem. Completely CBSE level problem. I would like to share one more problem from the, I guess, same chapter. Let me just cross check. Yeah. Now, again, same, your NCERT level problem, what they have given, foot of perpendicular drawn from point 1, 2, 3 on a line x plus 3 by 5 is equals to y minus 1 by 2 is equals to z plus 4 by 3. Then value of 19 times of alpha plus beta plus gamma, where alpha, beta, gamma are the coordinates of foot of perpendicular. So this was the question given. You guys can check your NCERT. Apart from this, if you have solved previous year questions from the chapter of 3D geometry, you will see continuously they are asking two kind of question. One is from foot of perpendicular back to back from the last 2 years. They are following the same pattern. Apart from this, they have asked the question from shortest distance between the line. This year they have asked one of the question from foot of perpendicular. What we have to do? All we have to do is compare this with equal to lambda. That's all. If you will compare this equals to lambda, from here you will have x is equals to 5 lambda minus 3. How? I will show you one calculation. X plus 3 upon 5 is equals to lambda. Cross multiply, x plus 3 is equals to 5 lambda. Right? And bring 3 over here to 5 lambda minus 3. What is the y coordinate of the point on the line? That's what we are calculating. 2 lambda plus 1. And z is equals to, from here, you will equate this with lambda. So 3 lambda minus 4 will be the point. So whenever you wanted to have a point on the line, just equate your equation of line equals to lambda and get the value of x, y, and z in terms of lambda. Now this is alpha, this is beta, this is gamma. What we need to calculate, guys? 19 times of alpha plus beta plus gamma. What is alpha plus beta plus gamma? It's 19 times of 5 lambda minus 3 plus 2 lambda plus 1 plus 3 lambda minus 4. Okay. So 5 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 10 lambda minus 3 plus 1 minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6. Multiply 90. That's what we are doing. So you can easily get the answer. This is our answer. Now you can easily get the answer if you can calculate the value of lambda. How you will get it? What exactly alpha, beta, gamma is a point of foot of perpendicular drawn from here. What is a point? 1, 2, 3. From this point, we have drawn a perpendicular, and the other end of perpendicular is called as foot of perpendicular. They have given this as alpha plus alpha, comma, beta, comma, gamma. Now, do we know any property, basic property? Like I would say we have solved multiple problems on the basis of same, that whenever we are calculating foot of perpendicular, we will use the two perpendicular vectors dot product is equals to 0. That's what we have to do. So what is A vector over here? PQ vector I'm talking about. PQ vector. And what is B vector? B vector is the direction ratio of the line, which is 5, 2, and 3. So which is 5 I cap plus 2 j cap plus 3 k cap is equal to 0. What is PQ vector? Is Q minus P. What is Q minus P? Alpha minus 1. What is alpha? 5 lambda minus 3. So 5 lambda minus 3 minus 1. Guys, it is 5 lambda minus 4 I cap. Plus. Now beta minus 2. What is beta? 2 lambda plus 1. 2 lambda plus 1 minus 2 is 2 lambda minus 1. J cap. Plus 3 times of, sorry, not 3 times of. Now, gamma minus 3, what is gamma? 3 lambda minus 4 minus 3. So 3 lambda minus 4 minus 3. And now we have to take a dot product of this one with 5i plus 2j plus 3k, which is the direction ratio of line. And this dot product should be 0. Solve this one. So what exactly we need to do? Multiply component of I cap with each other, of j cap with each other, of k cap with each other. How simple is this? 5 into 5 lambda minus 4 plus 2 into 2 lambda minus 1 plus 3 into 3 lambda minus 7 should be equals to 0. Now I'm doing it directly. So 5 into 5, 25, 2 into 2 is 4, so 25 plus 4, 29, 3 into 3 is 9, 29 plus 9 is 38 lambda. Now 5 into minus 4 minus 20, 2 into minus 1 minus 2, so 20 minus 20 minus 2 is minus 22, 3 into minus 1 minus 21, so minus 22 minus 21 is minus 43. Now you can do it by yourself. This is just calculation wala part. Now I'm shifting. Now we have got the value 43 by 8. 43 by 38, sorry. See, these kind of mistake can happen with you guys in examination. Then you're writing something, you're speaking something. It can mismatch, and that's why we can have an error. Anyway, 43 by 38 is your value of lambda. Put it back over here. So 19, answer is 19 times of 10 into 43 by 38 minus 6. So you can directly multiply. Like if you multiply 19 inside, 19 into 38, 19 by 30 is 1 by 2. 10 by 2, 5. 43 and 5 is 215. Minus 19 into 4 is 140. No. 4 carry 5, 114. Solve it from here, you will be having this equals to 101, which is your answer. Exactly, both the problems are of NCERT based, NCERT level. Same kind of question would have been asked in mock, or like CBSE previous year question paper. So we will come back. I will come back with more question of mathematics. Over to you, Kadal ma'am. You can share your questions.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. So guys, by the time you will be reading the maths the question, we'll be done with chemistry. So I think I'll be able to solve around 5 questions in this time frame. So let's jump to that. Perfect. All right. So as usual, guys, some of the typical questions that were expected from the chapters like chemical bonding, balancing of redox reactions, one of the name reaction, those kind of questions were directly there in your paper. Like if I look across one of the questions that was from chemical bonding. So this was the question. So you can say it was an integer kind of question. So the question that was asked was, okay, let me write it down for you. So it was find out the maximum number of hybrid orbitals formed when 2s and 2p orbitals are mixed. This was a question, integer type question, and but by looking at this question, you can definitely say it is chemical bonding for us. Hybridization, you can divide the concept also. It's like you are done with half of the question if you are able to identify which particular chapter, which concept it is belonging to. Because then by default, your mind will go into that particular direction. That is it. So that is like half of the battle already won if you're able to classify this into a particular concept. So I can definitely say that it is chemical bonding and the concept is hybridization involved. So hardly again, guys, 10 seconds or max to max 20 seconds in and out of this question. The only part that you have to keep in mind is this word over here. That is where I've seen a lot of you making the mistakes by whatever answers I'm getting, is the term maximum number. This is something you have to pay attention to. Maximum they're asking. So it's not one only, Vacha. Don't just count one S and one P. They're asking maximum number of orbitals. Correct. So for this maximum number of orbital, we know that we will be having one 2s orbital combining with 3 2p orbitals. And you know, number of atomic orbitals combining, which we call it as number of AO combined, is actually equal to number of hybrid orbitals that would be formed. This is something all of us are aware of. So if I'm combining one s orbital with 3 of 2p orbital, so my maximum number of orbital, or in short, my answer would be 4. That is it. So that's it. That's it. Simple, straightforward question. Then a typical question of thermo, another question. Thermo say that we expect, I would say, out of 100 times, 90% of the time, your question of thermo revolved either in thermochemistry or around your first law, work done calculation, right? So that is exactly what the question was this time also. So there was this, so they were asking, find the work done in the cyclic process. And that is their favorite thing to us, cyclic process. Because there involves a bit of a math that you have to do. Find the work done for the following cyclic process, not area, my bad. That is what you will calculate when you will find the work done. That is a different thing. Find the work done for the following cyclic process. And the answer was supposed to be in Joule. Again, I guess it was an integer type question. And this was the figure given to us, or this was the process given to us. So on the y-axis, what you were having the pressure in kilopascal unit. This was the pressure for us in kilopascal unit. On the x-axis, you were having volume in decimeter cube. And the curve that was given to us was somewhat like this. Let me just mark the numbers here. You were having 10 here, you were having 30 here. Let me put it a bit back. Here also it was 10, over here it was 30. So this was the pressure given in kilopascal. And this was somewhat the curve looks like this. And let's say if I'm labeling it, so the arrows were somewhat like in this direction. Like you were going like this, and this. So let's say this is A, this is B, this is C. Typical question, we know how to approach this one. Whenever you have to find the work done in a graphical manner or in a cyclic process, you know what you have to find, just the area under the curve. And I can say the curve is in the form of a triangle. So we will just be finding the work done as the area of the triangle. Simple. Work done would be equal to area of triangle. And how will you be reporting it as? Like half of base into height. So when you calculate base, that would be 20. Just one thing we have to keep in mind over here, again, that is slight bit of a trick that they play. We have to calculate the work done in Joule. And you know, when we have to calculate the work done in Joule, your pressure is supposed to be in Pascal unit and the volume is supposed to be in meter cube. And the volume is supposed to be in meter cube. Correct? This is what we do. So that is exactly what we will be doing over here. And you know this relation between decimeter cube and meter cube. So we know, we say 1 decimeter cube is equals to 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. And that is exactly what I'll be putting over here into 10 to the power minus 3. Now, this is my base. In short, I can say this is my base, BC. Now, height, if I'm talking about, that would be AB. Because definitely I can say it is like a height, right angle triangle. That's correct. So height is AB. And what height is, it is also 20. But it is in kilopascal. So you have to convert it into Pascal. And how will you convert kilopascal into Pascal? By multiplying by a factor of 3. So 10 to the power minus 3 and 10 to the power plus 3 will cancel out each other. Over here, I'll get 10 and my answer would be 202. Simple, easy peasy question. So this is your work done. Again, I would say 30 seconds or max to max 1 minute for this question and we are done. So this question you can say is your first law, directly first law of thermo, or in fact, work done for thermodynamics that we talk about. Simple questions, whatever I've discussed so far. Now let's move more into physics and maths first before we come back into the chemistry part. Dipesh sir, over to you. If we can discuss some more questions for physics.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Till then, I would like to share one question. All right, guys. So this is from your chapter complex number, and again, I would like to prove, like as I have said, 50% of the paper was super easy, and if you have just gone to the basic concept, you will not face difficulty. So what they have given a complex number z is equals to x plus iota y, and they have given that x y is not equal to 0. Apart from this, they have said that this satisfies z square plus iota z is equal to 0. And we will solve this question within like 30-40 seconds. What we just have to do, take it on the other side. Now, solution starts from here. Z square equals to minus of z. Now, what you will do? Take modulus both the sides. If you will take modulus both the sides, this is what we are having. Now, we have read modulus of z or iota z or minus iota z, they all are same. All right. So this will become modulus of z square is equal to modulus of z. Now, you will bring it over here. So modulus of z square minus modulus of z is equals to 0. And you will take modulus of z common, modulus of z minus 1 is equals to 0. So we are having two options. Modulus of z is equal to either 0 or either 1. But modulus of z will be 0 when x is equal to 0 and y equal to 0. And the question was, I have forgot to mention over here, question was, what is the modulus value of z? Done. We have got the answer. Again, see, I have given you three questions, each of 4 marks, 12 marks. I can say it's hardly 3 or 4 minutes. Next question, super easy, guys, super easy. Matlab, yeah, I'm literally laughing ki why we are having these kind of questions. Super easy question. Now we are having a parallelogram and see A, B, C, D. What they have given? So they have given BD vector. Okay, apart from this, they have given A vector which is minus 3, 4, minus 2. Sorry, I mentioned wrong. A is 2, 3, and 5. B is, C is minus 3, 4, and minus 2. Now, what is BD vector? Let me check quickly. So, yeah. Yes, over here. So, BD vector is 2 iota cap. Hold on. Cross check. Yes. BD vector is iota cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap. Now they are asking what is the area of parallelogram? Area of parallelogram, they have asked, guys, area of parallelogram or area of any quadrilateral is what? Cross multiplication of their diagonal vector, that's all. They have just asked the question on the basis of it. Do you know the formula of area of parallelogram and do you know how to do cross product? That's all. Right. So what you will do? D1, D2 is what? So first of all, D1 vector, let's call it D1 vector. What is D2 vector? You will calculate from here. D2 vector is equals to 2 minus or minus 3 is 5 I cap, 3 minus 4 is minus j cap, and 5 minus or minus 2 is 7k cap. So solve D1 cross D2, you will get the answer. Okay, I'm not solving after this, just calculation on the part. You make a determinant table and you will get the answer. One more question before we move to physics. Last question, the fifth question, sorry. Now they are having one question from limit. What they have asked, limit n tends to infinity, sigma k equals to 1 to n cube divided by n square plus k square multiply n square plus 3k square. Before we solve this question, again, I would say many of you were saying, ki, bhaiya, sir, that you guys know the sum of limit is not mentioned over here, but understand, sum of limit is the very first topic of your integration chapter in your NCERT also. Okay, so just because they are not writing it does not mean that it is removed. We have to read the syllabus very carefully under the guidance of the teachers and the mentors, and they will tell you what exactly it means. So if you are having limit, if you are having basic integration, if you know basic integration, you need to know this particular thing. How you will do it? Multiply n in the numerator and in the denominator. So this will become n power 4, which I'm writing as n square, and 1 by n I'm taking outside. And this will become sigma k equals to 1 to n upon n square plus k square, n square plus 3k square. And here we are having limit n tends to infinity. Okay, so what you will have, limit n tends to infinity. Now divide by n square in every term. In the numerator and denominator, you will be having this equals to 1 by n, k equals to 1 to n, this will become 1 upon 1 plus k square by n square, and this will become 1 plus 3k square by n square. And after this, what you just have to do, convert by using integration as sum of limit. This will be converted to 0 to 1, and it will be converted to k by n converted to x. So 1 plus x square multiply 1 plus 3x square. कितना देखो सीधा साधा क्वेश्चन बन गया, भोला वाला सा सिंपल क्वेश्चन ना. Now I would say कि you have to either apply a partial, you can go for partial wala part, you can go for partial will be much better over here. Now, or other technique is, which I really love, is now you can see there are two factors over here. Now, in case of two factors, I don't apply partial. I can directly look whether they can be cancelled if they are added or subtracted. Yes. Multiply 3 in the numerator, multiply 3 in the denominator. This will become 0 to 1. 3 divided by 3 plus 3x square. Now you can see difference of the denominator is a constant, which is 2. So what I'm going to do, taking 3 outside, 0 to 1. And I can write down this is 3x square plus 3 minus 3x. And we are done with this question. Okay. So 3 plus 3x square and 1 plus 3x square. Break it. If you'll break it, you will be having 3 times of 0 to 1. This will become 1 upon 1 plus 3x square dx. 0 to 1, or 1 upon, you can take 3 outside, 1 plus x square. Directly formula now. What is the formula? Integration of 1 upon 1 plus x square is tan inverse of x. So from here directly we can write down 1 by 3 tan inverse of x. But in this case we have to take care. You can assume 3x square is equals to y. Okay, so you will be having answer 1 by root 3 tan inverse of root 3x. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. Done. Now put 0 and 1 over here. And 3 is outside. 3, there's one more thing, 3 by 2. We have to divide by 2 because 3x square, 3 minus 1 is 2. That's all. So 1 by root 3, if you will put 1, this becomes tan inverse of root 3 minus 1 by 3 tan inverse of 1. Now minus, put 0 becomes 0, put 0 becomes 0. Done. 3 by 2, 1 by root 3, tan inverse root 3 is 60 degree. You can say pi by 3 also, minus 1 by 3 into pi by 4. This should be your answer. So multiply 3 by 2 inside, you will be having pi upon 2 root 3 minus you will be having pi by 8. Alright, if I just go through it, basic, this question was from sum of the limit. Last question directly, area of parallelogram, formula d1 cross d2. Before that, it was just take the modulus part, you will get the answer. So we have done some 5 questions, means we have covered 20 marks. We have got 20 marks very easily. Over to you, Divesh sir. You can discuss problem from physics also.
So as we discussed that most of the problem, can I share the screen? Yeah. So as we discussed that most of the problems in physics were easy. So I found out the toughest one, and this was the toughest problem out of all. Other than this, like this used a lot of logic. But other than this, all questions you can either do by formula basis or either they are like reading the statement then giving the answer. It's like that. This one was a bit tough, a bit different. So there are multiple ways of doing this problem. One is either you use the equation of trajectory. But the problem with that, the equation of trajectory is a lot of people don't remember it. Although I will tell you that as well, like you can use that method. I have no problem with any method, whatever you use. Equation of trajectory, if you will use over here, it will be a like good method because you know the formula right away. Yeah. But the problem with these types of such big formulas is most people are unaware or they can't remember it with, yeah, because already you have too many questions. So you can use the equation of trajectory as well to solve this problem. But how? See, now we are saying consider a series of steps as shown. Ball is thrown from O find the minimum speed of directly jumping to the fifth step. We have to find the minimum speed. We have to find that in such a way that if we can directly jump to the fifth step. Now, if you consider this one, yeah, so this will be the first, second, third, fourth, and this will be the fifth step. So from here, if you want to jump here, yeah, what will happen? Like this is the trajectory, or this is how the body is moving. So in x-axis, how much distance the body has covered? 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, 5 times. So 5 times 0 0.5 will be the distance in the x direction. Yeah. And 5 times 0 0.5 in the y direction as well. So as you can see, what you are doing, if you want to solve this problem for x direction as well and for y direction as well, the body is covering what? 2.5. So you can put that and then you can solve it. But there are two problems with it. For that, you need to remember a trigonometric identity, which can be a problem. And second thing is such a big equation. So these are the two problems. If you use this method and if you put it, then you can do the problem. But I will tell you a easier method. It might take 10-15 seconds more, I would say, but still this will give you an for sure accurate answer, and you will be confident enough that yes, I am right with it, and my answer is right as well. Yeah. So let's do that particular method. Whenever you are talking about the minimum velocity and the body is being thrown at an angle, so for the highest height, there is one simple logic, which is a logic, no formula at all. Just a second. Yeah, which is a logic, and that is if you want your body to reach at the highest level, then guys, just a second. Yeah, my pad is not working here. For the highest height, for H max, one thing is for sure clear, that the velocity of the body in the y direction is actually zero. This is a concept from projectile motion. You should be aware of that. That yes, when the body starts, when the body starts its journey, of course, it has a velocity in the x direction, which is, we can say, v cos theta. Okay, and it has a component in y direction as well, which is v sin theta. But at the highest point, the velocity in y direction becomes zero. We are going to use that. Yeah. So I can write the first equation in y direction. That is v y direction uy, or I will just write it like that. That v is equals to u plus gt. This is, I am saying, in the y direction only. I think you guys are all aware that when we are talking about vectors, separately you can apply the equation in x direction, and separately you can apply in the y direction. Very important. Yeah. So final velocity is actually zero. Initial velocity, if you say, let's say it's u, then you have to write minus gt. Reason, again, think about it. Very, very important. If you take the upwards direction to be positive, automatically the downwards direction becomes negative. This is also an important part. So u, without a doubt, is in up direction. G, the earth, always pulls you in the downwards direction. Right now, you are sitting, standing, whatever you are doing, earth is pulling you down. So we got the value of the time over here, that u is equals to gt, or I can say that finally t is equals to u by g. Time is equals to u by g. Very important. Yeah. Now, so this is actually going to be quite important. But as we said, that this is going to be in the y direction, like we are going to solve this problem in the y direction. So initial velocity of the body, we will consider all in the y direction. Fine. Yeah. Now, see, we got the time, and now let's say the body has to cover displacement s is equals to ut plus half gt square. And again, I am applying this equation in the y direction. Yeah. So I'm applying it in y direction. Important, in the y direction, we understood that the body is going to cover how much? 2.5. Yeah. The body is going to cover 2.5 displacement. So then u, and time is equals to what? U by g plus 1 by 2 into g into u square by g. Fine. Vu square by g square. Then when you will solve it all the way, it will become 2.5 is equals to u square by g plus 1 by 2 u square by g. So 2.5 will be equals to 3 u square by g. Yeah. Now from here, you can find the value of u. This is the method we actually will go through. And this I will say for sure and by far the toughest problem. Now there are two things important with this. I have given you both the methods. You can use both the methods. After that, it's calculation. Now understand one thing about this question, guys. A very smart thing in JEE, and that is how to leave a problem. A smart student, when he will see this question, he will leave it. Reason. Even if you do it by this method or this method, in both the cases, it's going to be time consuming as well as calculation, which can be threatening to your actual answer. Let's say by mistake, rather than getting this as your answer, you got this as your answer and you marked the wrong answer. So you wasted, or I would say you placed so much effort in doing the problem, and rather than gaining marks, you lost marks. So what should you do? You should leave this problem. Of course, if you get time, if you have extra time, then you can come back and then you can try it again. But as soon as you see it and you feel like this will take a lot of time and it's threatening, then just leave it at that same moment, because I'm very 100% sure this was the toughest problem of the physics exam. Other than that, all the problems were straight away formula based, easy questions, or a situation based problem, which you guys can do in like mere 15, 20, 30 seconds like that. This might take more, or like this formula will take you like kind of 2 minutes, and this will take you approx 2 minutes 30 seconds, and even that will not assure anything. That calculations can always be wrong, anyone can do it. So that is a smart choice, I am trying to say. If you can do 24 out of 25, it's a phenomenal score. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So that will be my recommendation, that as soon as you see a question like this, leave it. Then when you have extra time, come back to it and then do it. Yeah. Let's do it like that. Fine. I'm done, ma'am. Done.
Thank you so much for inside the paper. So guys, let's dive back into chemistry for the time being. And sir, I guess after that you will be leaving for the session if I'm not wrong, the pacer. So any
Yeah,
final
yeah.
tips that you want to share with the student, you can do that, please.
That's what I was trying to say, guys. Again, look through all the questions, except this particular problem. You will feel like, yeah, this question was so easy, very easy. And of course, combination. So there was one very good example of a problem where it was asking about the RMS speed, and RMS speed, which was from the kinetic theory of 11th grade, and that RMS speed was being applied in a 12th chapter, like a chapter from the 12th grade. So you can clearly see 11th and 12th grade, both chapters were integrated together. Yep. Now it was so easy question, and always people or all the students came to me that like whenever I asked that question in session, students say that, sir, this was a tough question. But once I explain them, then they feel like, oh, it was an easy question. The only thing is how much prepared are you with the formulas. Again, you can't do everything, but you can do most of the things. Yeah. Try to go for that. You will be happy. Okay. That's it from my side from physics.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. So guys, let's dive deep into chemistry. I think a lot of physics and maths is done over here. Let's try to calm ourselves a bit. Let's try to do some questions. So the first two questions that I shared with you were a kind of integer type question. Now let's move on to some MCQs. So the first question, again, typical organic question, easy question. From the chapter alcohol, ether, and phenol. Why I'm stressing onto the chapters, guys, because as I told you, half of the battle is won if you know the chapter to which the particular question belongs to. So, not exactly, I would say, my bad, alcohol, ether, and phenol, I would say haloalkanes and haloarenes. Because the question is asking us which of the following. Let me write down the question, you yourself will be able to identify. Which of the following isn't, or you can say has allylic. halogen. That is exactly what the question is. Has an allylic halogen. So all of you, again, those who are watching us, those who will be watching us later on, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe onto our channel and comment if you like the video. That will motivate us to keep coming back with such more engaging and informative videos for you guys. So coming back to our question. So this was the first option given to us. Then the second option was somewhat like this, as far as I remember. Yes. Option C was somewhat like this. And option D that was given to us was this kind. So the question was asking you, which of the following has an allylic halogen? Again, after looking at this question, 10 seconds in and out, that's it. Another easy question from organic, direct conceptual based question. So this question, if you are talking about, is haloalkanes and haloarenes for sure. Or in fact, if you want, you can also classify it under GOC, because these terms, allylic, vinylic, and all that stuff you discuss in general organic chemistry also. So it can be a combination of both. That's completely fine. Now the question is asking me allylic halogen. So we know, guys, allylic is the position that is next to double bond. What allylic is? Allylic is the position that is next to double bond. So I can say first one definitely is not my option because this position is not next to the double bond, the Cl. Again, B is also eliminated because I have two bonds after my double bond, not possible. So definitely C becomes my answer. D though for sure discarded, there's no double bond at all in the structure. C become my answer because as you can see, this is my double bond. So this over here becomes my allylic position. And the chlorine attached to this position is what we refer to as allylic chlorine, or you can say allylic halogen. Again, simple question, that is it. Now the next question, aromaticity, typical GOC question that anyone can expect us to have. I was wondering why they were not asking this question for many shifts, but now they are. So the question was, which of the following molecular species is more stable? Molecule or species is most stable? Option A that was given to us is like this one with a lone pair present on carbon. Second option given to us was this. Third option given to us was this. And the last option was this. All right, somewhat like these were the four options. So again, I can see the first structure. Again, this question is typically GOC, a general organic chemistry, you can say. Look at the first option. First option is typically nothing but you can identify this as carbon, right? And carbene are electron deficit molecule. And I don't see any kind of factor, any kind of effect stabilizing this carbene over here, correct? Let's move on to the second option. It's a typical carbocation, but it's not exactly like a normal one. Is carbocation is something you can say is aromatic. Reason is because it fulfills all the conditions required for your aromaticity. Reason, first condition, it is cyclic, it is planar. Second condition, each carbon, if you look at it, definitely is sp2 hybridized. This is sp2, this is sp2, this is sp2. And it follows Huckel-Baba also. Huckel-Baba means 4n plus 2. Conjugated pi electrons. So when I put the value of 4n plus 2 as 2, I get the value of n as 0. So yes, it fulfills all the condition for aromaticity, making it aromatic compound. So by default, this becomes my answer, but let's look into the other options as well. Now, if I'm looking at C option, interestingly, it is also cyclic. It is also having every carbon to be sp2 hybridized, but it is not following 4n plus 2 rule. Because when you put the value of 4n plus 2 is equal to 4, you'll get the value of n as half. And we know n is supposed to be an integer. So it is not following Huckel-Baba rule, but it will follow the opposite of that. That means anti-aromaticity. So I can put 4n is equals to 4 to get the value of n as 1. So ideally, this would become my answer if the question was asking me which of the following is least stable. Why? Because if you look at the stability, what do we say? And I hope everyone is aware of this order. If not, let's quickly recall our memories. Stability order, we say aromatic is the most stable one. It's like aankh band karke bata do, aromatic hai to stable hai. After that, you have non-aromatic. And the third category you have is anti-aromatic. So anti-aromatic, as the name suggests, it is completely anti of aromaticity, which makes it least stable one. So that is why C would become the least stable. If I don't have any other aromatic option, but let's see for the D option also. D option, there is no resonance if you're confused in that aspect, because for resonance, we need conjugation. This I can say is a vinylic carbocation, right? Vinylic carbocation means when you are having positive charge onto the double bond. And this is unstable. And why this is unstable? We know the reason behind it also. Because the carbon with a positive charge is actually what? It is sp hybridized, which is much more electronegative in nature, making it unstable. So option D is also eliminated. I am getting option D as my correct answer. That is it. Perfect. Now, another simple, very easy question, 10 seconds in and out wala question again from your chapter Atomic Structure. Let's discuss that question also. So there were two statements given to me and they were asking whether, what is the relation? So statements were correct, incorrect, and all that stuff. So the question was, statement one was given to me as, I think the option, statement was somewhat like for hydrogen atom, 3s and 3p, when you are talking about, are degenerate. Three S and 3p are degenerate. That was the first option, or that was the first statement. Then the second statement was given to me is degenerate orbitals have same energy. Degenerate orbitals have same energy. So in the meanwhile, I'm writing the question, you can find out your answer actually. Because it's so simple. The concept of this thing is something that is most important part of your atomic structure. By looking at the question, you can say it is atomic structure. And this is something related to your Bohr model, because that is where we talk about hydrogen atom. The entire foundation of Bohr model laid on hydrogen atom. Correct? So identify the chapter, identify the concept, that's it. You will be done with the question. Now the options given to me was, for the first option, they were saying both statements correct. Once again, I am just putting it down. Yes. Both statement correct. Then the second option given to me is both are incorrect. Let's make our own options because I know that would be the next one. So I think they would say first is correct. Second is incorrect. And in the D option, they would say first is incorrect, second is correct. So let's dive into the question now. I know by the time I'm done writing down the question, you're done with your answers as well. That's exactly what this question is all about. For hydrogen atom, 3s and 3p are degenerate. And that is completely right, because if I talk about hydrogen atom, you must remember that the formula of energy is minus 13.6 into z square by n square. So yes, the value of energy for one electron system or like hydrogen-like system depend upon only on the value of n. And we know for both 3s and 3p, they have the same value of n. So if they have the same value of n, automatically my energy becomes same. Correct? So this statement definitely is true that yes, 3s and 3p are degenerate orbitals. Now coming to statement 2, degenerate orbitals have same energy. Exactly, we know that. Degenerate orbitals are the orbitals of same energy. So even this statement is also true, making 1 as my correct answer. So this was not a typical assertion reason kind of question. They are not trying to interrelate the two statements together as such. They are just giving the two statements individually and they want us to find the relation between them. So guys, overall, if I talk about the level of the questions was I definitely would say majority of the questions easy. Whatever questions I can recall and whatever questions are left from our side to discuss, don't worry, you will get the entire PDF in your respective WhatsApp group as well as in the description box as well. We'll try to upload it over there. Aditya sir, if you want to discuss some more questions, we can do that. Otherwise, let them prepare for the next session as well as for the next attempt. Over to you.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. We can have a discussion later.
Yeah.
We'll be sending the PDF, guys.
Yes, definitely. So guys, again, same theory again, just keep your calm while going into the examination hall. You still have time, just revise the basic stuff. That's it. If you are going into the second shift, just close all your notebook. Don't do anything. Just keep your mind calm. Meditate a bit. I know these are like the jargons, but they do help a lot. This is a tried
Right.
and tested kind of formula. These are the things that help a lot. Every time we are discussing these things with the students, there's a panic mode starting at this point of time, especially the one who are going into the second shift. So all the best from my end, guys. I hope you will shine, and I know you all will shine as per your own capabilities. So, sir, anything else you want to share before we wind up?
That's all. That's all. We have already discussed a lot of points. Just keep
Exactly.
calm. And we have discussed, it's not that difficult as we are perceiving or like we are getting feedback from the students. So keep your head silent. No, do not worry. Just revise the basic part and go for it. And don't worry, you are having April session also. You are having this session also. So keep preparing for your examination. Yeah. All the best, guys.
Just keep your options open. Other than JEE, we have a lot of other good engineering college entrance coming as well. BITS Pilani is there. The IEEE is there. So you have a lot of options for you. JEE is not the end. It is just the beginning for us. Take this as a learning curve of your life and move ahead with a positive attitude. All right. So guys, see you soon in the next session. We'll keep coming with such a kind of videos for you. I hope you like and subscribe to our channel for such updates. Thank you so much for your time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.